So a lot of people have the question on whether or not the San Antonio Spurs are going to do something else. I truly do believe that they are. I don't think that it stops here. I could very well see Keldon being moved by deadline on this Thursday. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say it. But there's a couple players available right now that I definitely can see the San Antonio Spurs making a move for, right? A couple. Well, one in particular, definitely. The other, it might be kind of iffy, but you could do it. You could go for it if you would like. So check this out. So first off, let's just talk about this trade because I'm still astounded that this was a thing, that they were able to do this. The fact that you didn't have to get rid of anybody, but I mean, no offense to the players we gave up, but like Sidy Cissoko, we weren't playing Sidy Cissoko. Like he's another year or two out, right, from getting substantial minutes, I would say. So that's good. This 2025 Hornets pick is nothing. Like this is just second round picks. This is just 2 second round picks. It's not gonna convert. The 27 Spurs one isn't that great because the Spurs, after this draft and also having Fox and any other moves they make, they're gonna be a good team. Like at the end of the day, this is gonna be a late first round pick, right? Not that good of a first round pick. The 2031 Minnesota is probably the best one. And that's just kind of hoping that Minnesota screws up. But we didn't really have to work that hard to get that. We just traded away Rob Dillingham, and the Spurs had no intention of getting anyone else in that spot at 8th. I thought maybe Modest Buzelis, but I mean, things came out that Modest Buzelis is a huge Bulls fan, and it seemed like it was set up for him to just want to go there anyways. So the Spurs had nothing. Like, okay, we don't want to use this 8th pick on any of the players left. Let's just sell it off. And you were able to package that one. And then you gave away the Bulls pick, but you just gave them their pick back. You literally gave away nothing. You literally gave away nothing. And poor Bulls, man. Poor Bulls fans. Like, to get, like, you trade away Zach LaVine, and we already saw from the percentile numbers, he's one of the best offensive players in the league. You get rid of him, and like, for what? For your pick back. You didn't even get a first round pick for him, really. You just got your pick back. Very sad. Very sad if you're them. So Brian Wright just got away with highway robbery. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. I think people need to recognize the masterclass of what Brian Wright just did. With that being said, I do think that there's more things that the Spurs can do. And if you can get away with something like this, then you can get away with just about anything, to be honest with you. So there's a couple players available right now that we got some news on. So Lonzo Ball. First off, how do you guys feel about Lonzo? How do you guys feel about Lonzo Ball? I honestly think that he will be a really great player, at least coming off the bench. I think he only has a year left on his contract, right? 20 million, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. 20 million. 21 million. 21 million. And all they're asking for are second round draft capital. So if you guys don't know, I mean, I bring it up all the time. You should know. The Spurs' upcoming draft picks are actually insane. Actually insane. So you can look here, 2026. I need to delete something. I need to delete something off of. Hold on. I actually ended up tweeting out that we have 4 2028s. That's not true. I'm spreading misinformation. We're going to go ahead and delete that. I'm 4 hours late, though. So lots of people have been misinformed. I apologize for that. Anyways, 2026. So if you're looking here, the San Antonio Spurs 2026 is actually insane. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 second round picks. You remember when a lot of people said, hey, what are you doing with all these picks? You're not going to do anything. This is stupid that you're getting picks. These are the reasons why you do that, okay? So you have 6 second-round picks. The Spurs are not going to use these. They're not going to use these. I mean, 5 in 2026. They're not going to use these. And then in 2028, you have 3. So the Spurs have a ton of second-round picks. And if you want second-round pick draft capital, I don't know what that looks like. Is it 3? Is it 4? I undoubtedly think that Lonzo is worth that, right? I think Lonzo is worth that. Now, do I think Lonzo is like greatest player in the world or anything like that? No. But if you're using Lonzo as a backup guard and you do elect to move Chris Paul or anything in that regard, that would be crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I wanted to start off with that one because I know that that's one that you guys wouldn't really care as much for, right? Like everyone immediately said no, but you wouldn't be giving up that much at all. I'm in favor for it. So another player that could be on the table, probably quite unlikely, but we know that Kevin Durant is available for a trade. So I haven't messed around with the trade machine at all, but I'm assuming it would have to be a multi-team trade, kind of similar to what we did with the other trade. You know, when we talked about possibly getting De'Aaron Fox, which we were kind of on point. What you smoking? I'm just saying, Kevin Durant is available. Super unlikely. I don't necessarily want this to happen, but it's there. I'll tell you this. I guarantee you the San Antonio Spurs are on the phone calling around. See, I mean, because they're gonna keep up with all of this. They want to see what it looks like. So another one that I feel like, in my opinion, you know, you guys can say that I'm crazy here, but I think that not the hierarchy, but the tier list here is most fans wouldn't want Lonzo, and then you would get to Kevin Durant, right? Like, I think you're gonna get a percentage of people say that would be kind of cool if we just added Kevin Durant just cause, like, that would be kind of dope. Me personally, I don't want Kevin Durant, but he's out there. I just want to let you guys know that Spurs have a lot of draft capital. They have a lot of things that they can move. You still kept all your pieces, right? Like, you could maybe trade away Keldon in a pick and get him. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Knowing the Spurs, regardless, we can assume that they would get a good deal out of that. All right, so these are the ones that I don't care that much about, right? I think Lonzo will be a decent one as far as how fans feel. I feel like Lonzo will be like bottom, and then Kevin Durant. Now this is where I get excited. Okay, this is when I get quite giddy. This is what we like to see right here. Another one that's probably the most likely is Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson would be the perfect fit for the San Antonio Spurs. Actually, hold on. I'll bring up his stats. He's exactly what Spurs fans been asking for. We all know that we need a small forward. We all know we need a small forward. And the Spurs have kept their eye, keep this in mind too, we kept our eye on Cam Johnson for a long time. Spurs have wanted him for a minute. All right. Percentages. Guys, he's shooting 49% from the field. He's shooting 42% from three. 89.8% free throw percentage. He is on an absolute tear as far as scoring. 2.9 assists, 4.1 rebounds. But this is the sweet spot right here. 41.9% from three. Absolutely incredible. That would be awesome. Now this is the one that I get excited about. Like this is where I'm like, this has to happen. Spurs, you have to make this happen. Now, this is where I don't get excited. Okay, you ready? You give up Harrison Barnes. I'm excited about that. Harrison Barnes, I'm cool. Harrison Barnes, that's easy. I can do that. I can do that all day. All right, I could do that for days. But you want us to give up our 2029 first round pick. Ooh. You hit me in the gut on that one. I want to say, hey, that's far away from now. We don't have to worry about that till then. I want to hold on to our own, right? I like holding on to our own picks for now. I think that's nice. I want to hold on to our own. So there's one. And then they're also suggesting the Spurs give away a 2025 first round pick swap worse of San Antonio and Atlanta. No. I don't like that. I want my Atlanta. Atlanta's going to be worse than ours. I want my Atlanta. So if the Spurs can manage, let's see. Let's look through. What would you guys be willing to get rid of? I really don't want to get rid of our own. I really don't want to. I'll tell you this. I'll give you that. I don't know. Dallas is going to be pretty rough, man. We got a Dallas or Minnesota swap rights for 2030. Dallas, what they just did, that move they just made, 2030 might be really sweet. So I don't know. You have to give up something, and I'm not ignorant to that. Like, I understand that, but geez, that's tough. That's a tough one for me. What you guys thinking? Let's get AD. It probably won't take much. He's with the Mavericks now. You probably just have to give them a bubble wrap. A little bit of bubble wrap. They'll be okay with that. 2029 Clippers and Pelicans. But that's a second round pick. That's not gonna work. Honestly, if I have to choose, this is why I'm not in the front office, okay? Because I couldn't do what Brian Wright does. I don't know how he gets away with it. But if it came down to me, I would keep my 2025s, and yeah, I guess the 2029. I guess the 2029. Maybe you can make another deal somewhere and get another first round pick somehow. First round picks are really hard to come by nowadays. That's why it's so insane that the Spurs have them. And this is why it's so insane that teams are just clawing just to get their picks back. 2050. Yeah, I'll give them a 2050. Let's give them a 2050. 2055. So, anyways, but if it comes down to this, if it absolutely has to come down to this, I'll give you our own 2025. But I'm not giving you Atlanta's. Well, actually, Atlanta isn't even a swap. Let's see. Atlanta isn't a swap. It's just a first unprotected. So if it comes down to it, I'll give you our own. If it has to come down to 2025. I don't want to. But for Cam Johnson, I'm probably okay with that. Especially since the Spurs should be making somewhat of a run during the end of this season. And hopefully we can make a play-in, make it to the playoffs, get some playoff experience. I actually care about that now that we got Fox. I actually do care about that. Get some playoff experience, and it was worth it, right? As long as we can keep Atlanta's. Atlanta is the one I do not want to get rid of. Because we're getting better. They've gotten worse. I don't want to give away this Atlanta no matter what. So if I have to, I think I'll be willing to make this deal. But yeah, so that's a big one though. I figured that's one that you guys would actually like. Like I said, KD being available, it's unlikely that you do that, but you possibly could pull it off. And then Lonzo Ball, I think you undoubtedly can pull this one off. And although fans wouldn't be happy, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with getting Lonzo. He's a fine player. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's going to show up in the stat sheet, but he is a fine player. And he also fits the almost said timeline. But I mean kind of. Yeah, he does. He fits the timeline. But I was mainly saying that he kind of fits the identity of the Spurs as well. What we're looking for. But 3-point percentage is pretty good. I mean, he was better seasons prior, but 34.8%. You know, guys, a few second round picks when we have like 5 million of them is here. Let me count how many Spurs have. This is the type of player you can make a deal like this for. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 second round picks. Get real, guys. Come on. You can make some room for Lonzo. Created his own shot more than anyone else and kept decent percentages. What you got talking about? What are we talking about? I can see Zoe and Castle playing good together. Yeah, I genuinely think that will be a good move. So I'll tell you this: what I really want is Cam. Undoubtedly, I want Cam Johnson. I want the Spurs to get Cam Johnson. You will probably have to. They say Harrison Barnes. I'm assuming you have to get rid of Keldon. If it came down to this, if we can keep our 2025, keep Barnes and have to get rid of Keldon, I would do it. Right? I would rather do that than to get rid of Harrison Barnes in our 2025. If it came down to it, if we can switch that 2025 for Keldon, I'll do that way quicker. For Cam, I'll trade Keldon in 3 seconds. And you got 15 of them. So, yeah. So, guys, keep this on your radar. This is something that's being reported. That's kind of in the works. That a lot of teams are inquiring about. And obviously, the Spurs be part of that because we've always had interest in Cam Johnson. So, keep this one in mind. This could be a really big one. So we'll see what happens in the next coming days. But I'm excited about this, Cam Johnson in particular. And then the Lonzo one, why not, bro? Just do a few seconds, do it. Why not? Figure it out. What is Cam Johnson's contract currently? That's a good question. I gotta go to different websites every time. Let's go to the same one. Let's go to Fanspo. Oh wait, we don't go to Fanspo. What am I doing? It's Hoop Hype. $20, $22, $20, and $22. I guess you would have to choose between Lonzo or Cam. Spurs. You see Spurs. Cap space. Did they add? Okay, they added Jordan on here. They added Fox on here. Fox is going to sign that extension. I hope you guys know that Fox is going to sign that extension. I'm still not over how good. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the contract. I'm still not over how good that Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell contract is. I guarantee you these guys know, like the Spurs are so good with communicating. These guys know that the reason for these contracts is you might be moved later. Like the fact that we just going to front load it with all this money and then it just diminishes over time. Like that's huge, bro. You don't see contracts or a lot of contracts like that. Anyways, yeah. So, a few things to keep an eye on. Some big trades to keep an eye on. All right.